Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss the 10 steps to authoritarianism. Step 1. Create a common enemy. Authoritarians often craft a narrative that revolves around a common enemy, be it a particular ethnic group, political opposition, or an external nation. This tactic of creating a scapegoat unifies the majority under a banner of shared hostility. By constantly emphasizing the threat this enemy poses, the leader can justify extreme measures for the greater good. This us versus them mentality simplifies complex issues, diverting blame and consolidating the leader's power. It's a potent tool that preys on human emotions, fostering unity in fear and suspicion. Step 2. Control the media. The media is a powerful tool, shaping perceptions and realities. Authoritarians understand this well. By monopolizing media outlets, they ensure a singular narrative, one that favors them. Independent journalism becomes a rarity, replaced by state-sanctioned content. Those who dare to dissent or present an alternative view are silenced, often labeled as traitors or conspirators. Through this media control, authoritarians can manipulate public opinion, suppress facts, and propagate their version of truth. In such a climate, misinformation thrives, and the populace becomes more susceptible to the leader's propaganda. Step 3. Cult of personality. In an authoritarian regime, the leader isn't just a political figure, they're elevated to a near godlike status. Through orchestrated propaganda, their image is omnipresent, on billboards, in textbooks, and throughout media. Their achievements, often exaggerated, become folklore, while their flaws are erased or justified. The leader becomes the nation's protector, its savior, and its guiding force. This cult of personality ensures unwavering loyalty from followers. Any criticism of the leader is not just seen as political dissent, but as an attack on the nation's very identity. Step 4. Suppress opposition. Dissent is a threat to authoritarians. Any opposition, be it individuals, groups, or political parties, is methodically suppressed. Methods vary: intimidation, imprisonment, or even assassination. Critics vanish or are publicly shamed, their reputations tarnished through elaborate smear campaigns. Laws might be enacted to curb freedom of assembly or speech, cloaked under the guise of national security. By crushing opposition, authoritarians send a clear message. Dissent is not only futile, but dangerous. Over time, this creates a society where fear overrides the desire for change. Step 5. Undermining institutions. Institutions, like the judiciary, academia, and other regulatory bodies, exist to maintain checks and balances. Authoritarians, however, view them as obstacles. Slowly, these institutions are stripped of their autonomy. Key positions are filled with loyalists, ensuring the leader's influence permeates every corner. Laws are bent, twisted, or rewritten to favor the regime. As these institutions lose credibility and independence, the authoritarian's power becomes unchallenged. What remains is a facade of checks and balances, but with the core rotted away. Step 6. Control education. Molding young minds is key to ensuring the longevity of an authoritarian regime. Education systems are revamped to propagate the leader's ideology. Textbooks are rewritten, glorifying the regime while vilifying or erasing past enemies. Teachers are trained, or sometimes forced, to adhere to state-sanctioned curriculums. Critical thinking is discouraged, replaced by rote learning and indoctrination. By controlling education, authoritarians ensure that future generations view the world through their lens, cementing their legacy. Step 7. Surveillance state. In an authoritarian state, privacy becomes a luxury. An extensive surveillance apparatus is established with cameras, informants, and digital surveillance. Technology, especially, becomes a double-edged sword. While it connects people, it also makes monitoring easier. Citizens are constantly aware that they're being watched, leading to self-censorship. This psychological warfare is potent. The fear of being watched, of being caught, stifles dissenting voices. Trust erodes within communities, replaced by paranoia. Step 8. Use of force. A loyal military and police force are pillars of an authoritarian regime. These forces are well-funded and equipped, ensuring they remain loyal to the leader. They're used to suppress protests, enforce draconian laws, and instill fear. Massive military parades showcase the regime's might. But more than just a show of strength, these forces are a constant reminder to the populace of the regime's ability to exert control, to dominate. In some regimes, loyalty is further ensured through purges within the ranks, removing any potential dissenters. Step 9. Manipulate elections. Elections, a hallmark of democracies, become mere puppet shows under authoritarians. While the facade of voting remains, the process is deeply manipulated. Gerrymandering, voter suppression, and outright fraud become common tactics. State-controlled media heavily favors the regime, drowning out opposition voices. The results, often predictable, further entrench the authoritarians' rule. These manipulated elections provide a veneer of legitimacy to the outside world, but in reality, they're just another tool of control. Step 10. Create a parallel society. Under authoritarian rule, society becomes bifurcated. The elites, those loyal to the leader, enjoy privileges and wealth. They live in a bubble, insulated from the struggles of the common people. Meanwhile, the masses, especially those deemed disloyal, face hardships. Economic policies favor the elite, creating vast disparities. This parallel society ensures that those close to the leader remain loyal, their fortunes tied to his. The divide further ensures that any uprising from the masses can be easily quelled by the well-fed and loyal elite forces. Recognizing these steps is the first line of defense against the rise of authoritarianism. Vigilance, unity, and an informed populace are essential to safeguarding democracy.